Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Um, I just want to say welcome to the video. This time we're gonna be talking to our actors. We got so many people here today, so I'm super glad that everybody was able to make it. Um, First thing I was thinking about is if you just want to go through and introduce yourself and your character, go for it.
Hi, I'm Evan Hufford, and I played the role of Charlie. I had a blast on this project. I'm excited to be here and talk about what we made.
Okay, hi. My name is Sage, and I played Barbara. This was such a fun film, and it's so nice to see all your faces again. So I'm excited to be doing this.
Hi guys, my name is Regan and I played Eleanor, and I'm just super excited to see everyone back together again, and I'm super excited to talk about the project.
Hello, my name is Tyler. I play John. It's great to see everyone again. I had an absolute blast on this. I have not stopped talking about it since, so I'm glad I get to talk about it more now.
Hi, I'm JJ. I play Slim, and I'm excited to see it, not just my coworkers again, but my friends again.
Hey, Kimberly. I played Barbara's mom, and it was really, really a cool experience. And there was just a safe feeling on the set. You felt it felt like family.
Please don't go.
I have to do this.
All right, lovebirds. Uncle Sam is calling.
Please don't.
No, he'll be okay.
I'm sorry I enlisted without telling you. I just knew that you would say no, and you know I can't say no to you. People keep calling us heroes, but I sure don't feel heroic leaving you there.
Yay! Okay. So one of the first things I wanted to ask was, it was the first scene that we ever did. The script didn't have any dialogue in it. It was all just mimicking words. And so I kind of gave you guys the direction of like, what do you feel is natural and what would you say? And you guys came up with this like amazing. It was like, please don't go. And like you had that whole interaction. And then Tyler came in and was like, Uncle Sam's calling. Like, so did you guys, I guess what I wanted to ask is like, is it more helpful to have a director that gives you like this is how I want you to deliver the line, this is what you have to say, or is it nice to have just the freedom to like explore who the character is and kind of what feels more natural?
I think it is really nice to have the director that kind of gives a loose direction, because then it gives us as actors a liberty to actually explore the character and get into the character. Um, I found myself actually becoming Slim. You gave us direction of what the action is like and really came told us to come up with some lines. Um, and it felt really nice to have a director that trusted us and gave us some trust and told us to really do what we can with the character.
And I think for me, it's kind of twofold. So when I do have lines, um, I try to make them my own. So that when I say the words, it seems like my words. But the cool thing about what you did was just the same effect because we actually used our own words. So I appreciated the fact that you um, gave us direction, but it was like, what what would you do in this moment? I've had directors where they try to tell you how to feel, and you can't do that, really. I mean, you can't tell someone how they're going to feel in that situation, you know. So to me, it's better when the director allows the the actor to bring themselves into it and let them feel in that moment.
I'm also kind of a twofold person. I like either way is kind of cool with me. I like to have my freedom, especially like when you can give something for the performance and then kind of ricochet off that, whether you need to do something a little bit more or try something new or go down a couple levels. And like everyone else said, you gave us that freedom to kind of just fully fill the character, fully fill the role, add these lines even though they weren't there to fully grasp what it felt like to leave the people you love behind and kind of do what you felt called to do. And I was really able to put myself in that situation. For this specific circumstance, I was able to recall a situation when I moved to LA way back in the day. I was 18 years old, and I was able to feel the emotions of what it felt like. And so that was really cool to be able to. I felt like I got to say goodbye to my mom and dad in a way, and so that was really cool.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful scene to just kind of kick off filming with. Oh my goodness, Sage and Evan, like that, like improvised like scene and those lines there is just, it was so inspiring to just witness that. But then as soon as Tyler came out of the house, I remember his lines being just like making me and JJ just laugh because you are just a hoot, and it was so fun to just hear your improv too. And so it was just such a beautiful moment of just talent all around.
I remember freaking out that day. Like I always get nervous on the first day, but I was really freaking out. I remember that yellow dress and being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna like sweat this off." I was so scared. But yeah, then I remember Michaela coming out and talking to us, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I didn't like directors can be nice, like they can be helpful, like I or kind to their actors." And yeah, you really just, even though this is such a personal story to you, you just like really let us do like whatever we want and just totally trusted us. And it was like such an incredible feeling. And the whole cast, like you guys are all so good at like being on the spot, improv and everything. And I had no experience with that. But especially Evan, like that first scene with you, I was like, oh my gosh, like one, he's very, very talented. But like it just helped so much being able to like have a scene partner who knew what they were doing and like just totally fell into the character, and it helped me a lot. So thank you to you all.
I normally only ever use lines. And so I remember at first when you had said that, I was like, ooh, I don't know what I'm gonna say here. But the thing about you, Michaela, is you made the space feel so safe to just try whatever we wanted. And when I realized that, I was like, all right, let's just let's just see if it sticks. And I have like never experienced in all the years I've done theater, I've never experienced that feeling. Like I felt on this one day set, and it just made it so fun. Because yeah, I really just got into this. I, me being me, I feel like I took this character who could have been very like one note, and I was like, let me just make him a dirtbag, and but like a 1940s dirtbag, and I felt so supported the whole time in doing that, and it just made it so much fun. I was like, this is just like I just feel like I'm playing. I feel like I'm playing in a on a playground, and I had no inhibitions whatsoever. And what made it wonderful was that each person on set all was the same way. Like we like were like a just one singular like celled organism, and we all like took the assignment and understood the assignment and like ran with the assignment. And so I don't think I ever want to do lines again because of you. So thank you.
Barbara, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I know. I know it hurts. I know. He's gonna come home. He's gonna come home. I know it. I just know it. It's gonna be okay. You stay strong, okay?
So, I wanted to ask you guys about that. So, you guys had like just met at that point. What is it like when you have like a moment like that?
For me, it was like I was saying earlier, putting a imaginary situation with real emotion. I mean, I felt it. I was really crying. And Sage made it easy too. I mean, I just genuinely feel for someone when they're upset, even though she was pretending. It's for me, it's like, what's my motivation?
Yeah, I think we had met like yeah that day or the day before, but even just talking to Kimberly, like you just I totally understand why you were cast for the role. You're like just a very nurturing, like motherly person. Like so I know when we had that scene, I was glad that it was with you because I just felt comfortable with you anyway. I feel like I could like tell you about my problems even though we had just met. And so it was kind of just like an instant click and yeah, I think it worked out. And I do really love that scene. It was nice to see.
Okay, one of the next things I wanted to ask about was the ship. And so obviously, Evan, you were the only one here who got to be there for ship day. So when we're working with actors, we always give them like their own space. But on the ship, we didn't really have that because we were one, all over the place, and two, was open to the public. And so we had people constantly coming up to us and asking, like, what are you doing? What is this film about? What are you doing? So I wanted to ask, like, what was that distracting for you, or do you have a way to kind of block that out, or is that helpful to you in some way? Like, what is that like for you?
I don't know because I don't know if I've ever really. There's been situations where I've filmed and it's not necessarily been open to the public, but public's been around to where they can come to the outskirts of it, and maybe you're caught in a conversation. In a way, it still made me more connected because these people were here visiting something that, for the film, I've been on for some time now. But as far as people walking around. I thought it was cool. There wasn't much for me to have to tune out. On-set locations are absolutely my favorite thing. I'm a huge advocate for shooting on-set because it just puts you in a whole nother realm of a world. Obviously set designs, like when you build a set, it's really fun too, but there's just something special, especially that was an actual warship. And I'll cherish that forever. I tell people all the time, like I shot on a Navy warship. Like that's really, really cool. So I'll live with that forever. But just being able to, when we first got there, we got to, Kowal and I got to walk around and just feel like best friends, like we're in here fighting for our country and kind of just talked in a way of the characters to kind of find our spot. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a cool experience overall. I actually remember when we were shooting a scene. I think it was the mop scene when we first did. And I
Hmm.
saw this couple out of my peripheral, like kind of just watching from this like observatory type of thing. And then like we cut, and then yeah, I don't even think you realized for a moment that it was even your parents that are sitting there watching. And then all of a sudden they said something. I was like, oh, that's Michaela's parents. Like, how cool was that for them to, come witness you direct a film, especially on such a neat set?
It was really crazy that it got to be that moment on that ship on that day. Like it was crazy having them on there and being on a real life World War II battleship, which is crazy.
What? What happened? What? You... Ellen, what? Are you okay? What happened?
So, one of the most consistent pieces of feedback I've gotten when I've shown the film to people has been the scene where we find out that Slim dies. They just sing your praises, every single person. So, I wanted to ask, when we were filming, we were running overtime. Everyone was super stressed and in a rush. And it was this super, like, deep emotional, very intimate moment, but everyone around was trying to give the space for that, but also like we need to wrap up and da da da. So first of all, did you notice any of that running around kind of anxious feeling? And if you did that affect your performance at all, or how did you tune that out?
Oh, I'm gonna be so honest, I didn't even really notice like the reactions of the crew or just the urgency that you guys felt. That was the sort of scene that you walk on the set, you're like, okay, this is the probably the most intense scene that we're gonna be filming in this project. And so you just prepare accordingly. And so I was just kind of locked in. But the crew did such, and you especially, Michaela, did such an incredible job just creating space for that. And I remember asking before that scene, I'm like, okay, like, are we doing the close up first? Are we doing the fall of the floor first? Just because my film production brain was going to, and that helps me as an actor, like knowing which one comes first. And so that helped me prepare as well. But yeah, you guys were incredible in just making that a safe environment, and just giving me space to. I remember before each take, I was like, hey, like, can we hold for a second? Can we pause? And you guys were, even though you felt that urgency of, oh, we need to go to lunch, it's like you guys gave space for that, which was super amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I really like noticed that we needed to get it done super fast or anything. But I do remember like being nervous about that scene because it is so important. And you guys, you were like, not like the whole crew doesn't have to be there, which I like really do appreciate, like doing something so that you're like so nervous about and so emotional, and like not having the whole crowd of people watching you was like really helpful. And I do remember being like, it's just such a crazy scene because I obviously know what she's about to tell me, but I'm supposed to be like, I have no idea. But like Regan was so incredible. I remember opening up the door and being like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? And so that helped a lot. But no, it was like honestly like really like one of my favorite scenes that we filmed too.
There was also something so beautiful too, because we had like started to like, form a friendship too before that scene, and so it felt like such a safe environment to like collapse into your arms and cry. It was very beautiful that we had had that time to just form a relationship before that intense scene. So that really helped too.
Surprise!
Guys, you shouldn't have.
Bon voyage, sailor.
Honey.
Oh, we surprised you.
You did. Well, I got a surprise for you.
What?
Right here. Will you marry me?
Yeah.
So that was another one of those scenes where there wasn't dialogue, so I just kind of gave you guys like, here's what they would say, here's the situation. I specifically talked to, I think it was JJ and Regan about this. I was basically just like, yeah, just say like, I got a surprise for you, and then like propose. And then you said that, and then you like took it and actually made it into something. So was that another one of the things where you just kind of did whatever felt right, or did you coordinate that with each other, or what was that for you guys?
Yeah, that was such a beautiful scene on my end to improvise, because I kind of came in with a certain context, specifically from you, Michaela, like, oh, like, this is, you're here to surprise them, like that sort of thing. And so it was me kind of playing off of JJ's improvisation and what he wanted to do, because I was, supposed to be surprised in that scene. And so that was really good. JJ did a great job of making that seem realistic too.
Yeah, I think what we did, we improvised it a couple different ways, and we kind of got into a groove where we would start repeating the same thing each take we did. So, I think that was what you went with was one of the first takes of us saying those specific lines, which I think is better because it felt more natural. Because it was supposed to be surprise, and there was like a moment where we were kind of talking over each other, which I think would happen in real life. So that made it all feel much more natural. Um, and I like how we kind of choreographed that spin. It made it feel like we've known each other for a long time, even though we just met, I think, that day. But it did make the relationship feel so much better, and I felt like the whole kind of dynamic was so much better because of that.
You brought up the spin, and I did just want to, just while we're on the topic, I wanted to share this scene anyway because I broke my heart to cut it. We were on the beach. I'll just show this moment. So the that was supposed to be intercut with the proposal, and so the spin that you guys did was supposed to match what the spin that happened on the beach. And that didn't end up happening, but I think that it really worked with the scene, and I loved that you guys were willing to make that work. That was it that scene really worked out really well. I wanted to go back to that beach scene. We worked a lot on those still shots of Sage on the beach, and that was a very run and gun. Like, I was with my DP right next to him the entire time, and I was like, move forward and then back off, and then move even closer and then back off, and then move over here, and then do here, and then kneel down. And kind of the only direction I gave you was like, look sad at the water. And then that was like, and then you're able to like build off of that. So is that kind of way of filming hard?
I actually really loved that day. Like I loved all the beach stuff, but I remember like standing on the beach and yeah, just looking out longingly. And like it was so windy and my hair is all in my face. And yeah, no, I didn't mind that at all. I like hearing what you all like all the whole crew has to say, like even like while we're filming because I like to like know if it's going well or if I like should move over a little bit. So no, it wasn't like a bad thing at all. But I really enjoyed doing that, even though it was very like impromptu kind of. I enjoyed that even more. So
Also something that a little bit of something that we dealt with on the ship with Evan and Thomas who played Kowal. Um it was very just like this would look cool if you had a shot right here, and this would look cool if you had a shot right here. Evan, in your experience, is that something that you enjoyed, or was that a challenge? Like, what is that like?
Honestly, that's one of my favorite things. Because you get a lot more feel for the story and the characters. I remember specifically shooting those kitchen scenes where I'm in there doing the dishes and like I was in there like improvising like, okay, what can I grab? Like put in the sink, wash, we got a sponge, all these different things. But I love the run and gun of adding to the story, whether it's going to be used or not. I like to still just try to get whatever you can in there. But that was really cool. I also remember about the beach scene that it was so cold. I remember when we pulled up to the ship too,
Freezing.
and that morning it was so cold, and you had those like big quilts for us because we were like shivering cold. Um, but as soon as it was action, we were just all into the character and, running on the beach. I wasn't even thinking that I was cold or that the water was cold. I was all about life in that moment, and I think that's really cool.
So that was another one of those. I gave like what you guys are feeling and what's happening, but there wasn't a lot of like direction there. So what was that like for you guys?
So, the anxiety I feel while watching the scene is pretty much matched to the anxiety I felt while doing the scene, but I think that's what made it like more fun and more realistic because I will say we never laughed. Like it's one of those like things where I just met Sage like t 10 hours before and now I'm gonna like I'm gonna try to make a move on Barbara, right? Like and how do you how do you do that? And that's where it's just like again, a safe environment where we all are like, all right, this is acting, this is make believe, um, is what's crucial to do stuff like that. And in the end, I think we cracked up after it was all said and done. And I think the internal anxiety that we both felt naturally played very well on screen. And I didn't make Sage uncomfortable in the end, which I think was the most important part.
Yeah, I remember being so nervous for that, but I was like I did keep on laughing just because Tyler was like the funniest person I've ever met. Like, and I whatever you were saying before, I remember like just trying so hard not to laugh, but I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. And like even just within a day, we had like already built a friendship, so it wasn't like weird or anything. But it's funny to watch it back.
What contributes to feeling comfortable in that situation or like building that friendship throughout the day?
I think what's important is having two people like ha at least have the fact that we had met earlier and like just talked the whole day. 'Cause this was at the end of the night too, so we had the whole day talking. I think that definitely helped. Really, the only other thing you can as a I guess as a director, Michaela, you can hope for two things. One, that the two actors are normal people that just vibe well with each other. And then the only other thing you could probably ask for is like an intimacy coordinator in a situation like that. And that goes for something that's like, if it's a kiss, like an actual kiss or anything like that. So I feel like again, just you also did not make us feel forced to do anything. You were very much like, whatever you feel comfortable doing. And then I, you said that to both of us. And so then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, what would make Sage, you know, where's the it's all about finding that line with something like this. I'm gonna pass this off to Sage now. I also know that JJ and Regan being over in the corner filming us and laughing at us the whole time definitely helped with the vibes because it's all acting.
You guys just did such an incredible job that me and JJ were just having a blast through the window watching you guys do it. You guys are so talented. You
Oh
handled
yeah,
that well.
we wanted to get that on phone camera so we could watch it back because you guys were just such great performers, and yeah, it was just great.
Well, it's immortalized. So I'm glad that you got it.
But yeah, I agree with what you said. Like totally. I think like having that be one of the last scenes we did that day was like so helpful. Not jumping right into that. I think we would have been like really uncomfortable then. But yeah, going through the whole day. And I also remember like we didn't know like how close we were supposed to get or anything. But like Michaela, you were like very just comforting me. Like yeah, whatever you guys feel comfortable with, and that's like really nice to hear that we didn't have anything to like live up to. It's kind of just whatever we felt was right. And like obviously you let us do it all, which was yeah, nice.
I just wanted to share one thing. Whenever they're in other sets, when there wasn't a intimacy coordinator, you ask your scene partner if you know that you're going to have to put your arm around them. It's always good to ask, is this okay? And then it kind of frees both people up, I find.
I think after every take of that scene, Sage, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I did say to you, "Are you okay? Are you good? Is that good?" And like for me, that's calming my own anxiety, knowing that she feels safe in this moment. Um, and that's just part of being a good human.
And I know that at the ending, like with the big reuniting between um Charlie and Barbara, I remember we had a very similar conversation earlier that morning of like what's the line? Like, do you feel comfortable with a kiss? Do you not? Do you want to? And then did you guys both feel okay with how because we didn't end up doing the kiss, but I think that it ended up working pretty well. Did you guys feel safe doing that? Did you feel okay with that?
Yeah, from what I remember, I think both of us felt like the kiss was going to be awkward and not as natural as what we did. And kind of just the reuniting with the hug gave us enough comfort to realize the situation that we were in. So I think it was completely unneeded and that worked out in the moment.
Yeah, and you, Michaela, were so like kind that whole day. I just remember like multiple times you came and talked to us, even separately too, which I also think like would have if we weren't like comfortable with stuff, like it would have been like really, really helpful. But yeah, I didn't feel comfortable at all. I knew like we were very like we were in really good hands. So yeah, it worked out well.
Okay, in the interest of time, we have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. So I was wondering if you wanted to do a speed round of, do you have any advice for actors and or directors on how to work well with each other?
I always think it's good to create a good bond with your coworkers. I know after we was shot one day, we all went to the beach, and I know me, Tyler, and Evan went, and Sage. I think almost everyone was there. We all went to go eat afterwards, so we all just kind of bonded and talked, just apart from set and apart from our characters. And I think that's definitely a good thing to have. I know that was only our only day of shooting, basically. But if there were more days, I feel like we would have been so much more connected and much better friends on and off set. So that's definitely a good thing to always do on every set you can.
I that was probably one of the best days of my life, truly. Like I have not stopped thinking about it. It was so much fun. I guess my advice would be to a director, my advice would be just be like Michaela. I don't know what else there is to say. I would also say, but I would say just creating a safe environment. And when I say be like Michaela, just create a safe environment where you feel as an act where actors feel like they can play in that environment. Because in the end, this is not brain surgery. We are making a piece of art, and it's a collaborative piece of art. And I feel like people sometimes forget that it's not that it is collaborative, and that's the most important part. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say in interest of time. Passing it off
Yeah,
to
I
you.
second that. Directors to collaborate with the actors, allow them to be in that space. And for the actors, I'll just say it again, being real in an imaginary world, you know.
Kind of piggybacking up on all of that as well. I think that creating that bond is so important. We had very little time to do it, and I think we connected on even more of a spiritual level. It kind of felt like, most sets we don't get the opportunity to do such things, especially with that short of time. And I think we created something special. And I think, Michaela, you were, the spot that helped us create all that, because you created that environment to feel freedom, to get connected, and to just talk about life, talk about our characters. And it was super special, super fun, and don't want to take up all the time, but yeah, create art that's livable beyond your years. I live with that, and I think that's what we did.
Beautiful. I think we're gonna run out in like 10 seconds, but thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you coming on. You guys are all fantastic. Thank you so, so much for your work on this. Whoa! For your work on this and for your work on the film project. And you guys just rocked it. I'm impressed with you every single day. And I'm so glad that you guys are often doing amazing things. I'll put all the links to where to find you guys. Yeah, you guys are incredible. Thank you.
I I remember not like I remember walking off past the camera and just staring at you guys as I'm saying whatever comes to mind. And well, there was one part that made it at the end of my reel as a blooper. Um, I forget what I said. Something about
I
going to
have
like,
it pulled up here. I
oh,
have it
okay.
pulled up.
He's gonna come back. Maybe Christmas, maybe New Year's. But anyways, for Thanksgiving, I got this great idea. It's gonna have a nice big table. You won't be at it.
I love that moment so much. And it was constant through the end of the year where it was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun. We have this rap party, you won't be at it, and we're gonna do
The most unserious person that whole time because everybody's over here like, I'm gonna miss you so much.